I'm getting so tired. I'm getting so.
Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Look here, Internal Affairs goes to the warden and tells the warden the name of the crooked officer that they got bringing things in for the guys, right? And now he tells the Internal Affairs to get with the D-Board chairman and tell them to activate, listen to me now, because they play serious when they do stuff like this. Told them to activate that in the confidential informant, right? That helped them, you know what I'm saying, get codes. They need to know when the next move going down. And so they step to, the D-Board chairman calls Max Skunk into his office, and Max Skunk is in the office running things down to him and conversating with him about another case and all this and that. But the D-Board chairman said, look, we'll get to all of that, but what we need now is for you, listen to me when he say we, he talking about the warden, Internal Affairs, and him. What we need now is for you to find out when inmate such and such is going to get his next bag in. So when he heard the name, he said, what? He said, I can't do that. So the D-Board chairman looks at him and said, what do you mean you can't do it? We played ball with you, and now it's time for you to play ball with us. So he looks at him, he said, man, I can't do that. He said, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. And that's when Max Skunk realized that he done stepped in something that's too deep, too thick for him to deal with. Because he don't know what he's going to do. They're asking him to get information about the folks. And he ain't even told them that he done lied to them about the information that came from his client. His client didn't give up any information. Max Skunk did all of that. So he's telling them, look, we need this as quick as possible. He didn't put no deadline on it, but he said as quick as possible. And he told them, don't come back without it. Get that. This is not an option. And he told them this too. Let me tell you something. This is how they kept it off, right? You know, I told you how they'll burn you. This is what they told him. This is what the D-Board chairman told him. He said, it will be a shame for your brothers to find out that you've been playing ball and that you set somebody up. So he looked at him, and Max Skunk got fireball hot. Oh, look here, he hot as a 6-shooter, y'all. I mean, hot as a 6-shooter, because now he know he been played. But he don't know what to do. He don't know what to do. He don't come to me. He don't want to rap with me no more. Feel what I'm saying? He quit doing that a while ago. So he go to old head. He go to folks. And he tell folks a little bit of what they want him to do. And he asked me, he said, man, what do I do, man, if they step to me and they tell me they want some information on somebody? Now, he ain't told folks that they want information on another brother. He said, man, it just depends. You got to weigh it up and see, is it to your benefit or not? He said, how do I tell if it's to my benefit? He said, it's about money. Can you make money? Light bulb went off in Max Skunk's head. Yeah, I could make money. But he said, what if it's somebody that I know? He said, depends on how well you know him. He said, what if I know him real good? So old head folks looked at him. He told him, he said, look, as long as it ain't one of the guys, man, who cares? So Max Skunk, he put his head down. He said, oh, okay, I was just checking. I want to know that, you know what I'm saying, what the limits is. You feel he trying to see how far he can go with this thing, right? Now, old head folks ain't no fool either. He looking at it. He said, it ain't now one of the guys, is it? And he got that sinister look on his face like, tell me what's really going on. And he said, no, it ain't now one of the guys, you know? Ain't now one of the guys. So Max Skunk, go back to now. Y'all remember the dude that lived in the unit with Cuz? Remember him? Okay, Max Skunk, go back to him. And he tell him, he said, look, I'm going to do a favor for you in the future, but I need you to do a favor for me now. So the peon telling him, he said, man, what you need me to do? What you need me to do? He said, man, I need you to watch somebody. He said, is he in the unit with me? He was like, yeah, he in the unit with you. He said, who is it? Max Skunk looked at him. He said, man, look, when I tell you this, man, you can't say nothing to nobody about this. Nobody. So he looked at Max Skunk and said, I ain't gonna tell nobody. I ain't gonna say nothing to nobody about it. He said, man, on everything, putting your word, man, you ain't gonna say nothing. He said, man, I ain't gonna say nothing to nobody about what you talking about, man. He said, as long as you pay me, you look out for me, I got you. Now let me tell y'all something. People in the penitentiary, like I've said before in some of my other shows, man, everybody's got an angle. Everybody. Right? And this peon's angle was to make sure he kept a chip in the game. And depending on who it is that he wants him to spy on, this chip, right now what he's got is a $10 chip. This chip could become a $100 chip. So when Max Skunk tell him who it is, the peon look at him. He don't say nothing. But on the inside, you know how sometimes you can be dealing with somebody and they say something that makes you feel all happy on the inside, but you don't show it on the outside because you got that stoic face on. See, that's how the peon did. The peon started calculating how this could be major for him. This could work out to his advantage because, like I told you, folks got that Grinch bag. You feel what I'm saying? This tilting. He get in and everything, when he want it, how he want it. All of that in a bag of chips, y'all. So the peon tell him, I got you. We gonna shake this thing. He said, when you need the information? He said, man, I need it as soon as possible. He said, okay, I got you. So Max Skunk, he breaks and leaves. The peon can't wait. Listen to me. The peon can't wait to get into the unit and go straight to folks and tell folks what's going on. So folks is listening to him because he just seen this peon talking to Max Skunk. You know what I'm saying? Because when the inmate advisor come into the unit, they got to sit at the table in the middle of the pod, and in the middle of the pod, everybody can see whatever is going on with whomever. So they saw bruh talking to the peon, so they know that's valid. They don't know what he was saying, but they just getting one side of the story. You feel me? They just getting one side of the story. So bruh is sucking it all up, right? And he said, look, appreciate that. Appreciate that. He said, this is what I want you to do. He said, give him this name right here. He said, wait a couple of days before you do it. Every time he come back to you, tell him you ain't got nothing yet. But in a couple of days, you just give him that name. And let me know when you give it to him. You feel me? Let me know. So the peon said, yeah, I got you, I got you, I got you. See, that $10 chip he had in the game, that's a $100 chip. It's a $100 chip. See now, bruh, this what bruh do. Bruh go get at the 9. See, when you got that bag, you can sit down with anybody, any POA. You feel what I'm saying? And bruh, like I said, bruh got that Grinch bag. So he went and hollered at the 9, and he told the 9, he said, look, this what's going on. I ain't necessarily saying that I believe it, but I got to check it and test it and see if this is true. And I need you to ride with me for the time being. You know what I'm saying? Keep everything on the low. I don't want nobody else to know this, but I'm letting you know ahead of time before this go down, because if it goes down the way I think it's going to go down, then we got a problem with Max Skunk. So folks look at him and tell him, I got you. He said, I don't really like doing this. I don't like to have, you know what I'm saying, inside stuff going on like this, but if we got a snitch within the ranks, we need to know. We got to weed him out. Chop the head off the snake. Leave him shaking in the grass. So, folks leave. It's on lock. Him and the 9, the only two that know this, right? They the only two that know. So a couple of days go by. And the officer, which is not the officer that's really shaking the spot. You feel me? It's not that officer. You feel what I'm saying? Now again, let me tell you something. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. They already got the officer's name that's shaking the spot. That's what Cuz done gave them. Listen to me now. I need y'all to follow me and keep up with me now. Keep up with me. Cuz done gave him a name. IA done gave the warden a name based on what Cuz tell him. You feel me? He done all of this. But see, when Max Skunk went to the peon and told the peon what to do, this and that, he just wanted him to find out when it's going down and all this and that. And folks is slick. He's smooth. And if you want to know how smooth, you're going to have to tune in to the next episode. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.
I'm getting so tired.